my favorite cartoons, and one of just the guy who wrote these theme songs was incredible. Real musicians, large budgets, lots of instruments, dozens and dozens of instruments. Listen to this, real music.
Meet George Jetson.
Flutes, piccolo, wow.
His boy Elroy.
Listen to the violin, string instruments, lots of them.
Daughter Judy.
You think that guy isn't a trained trumpet specialist?
Jane, his wife.
You got some guy who can play the piano pretty well. Yeah, a guy playing the horns. They're musicians. Listen to this. As professional as number 9, Drew Brees. Yeah, I'm old school. When someone says musician, they actually can play an instrument. It's pretty neat. Or they're in a band where, I don't know, they bang on the cowbell or shake a tambourine or something like that. Maybe a little triangle. And they're the lead singer of a band of musicians. Later tonight, Jason and I will be at the Laplace Holiday Inn. 7:30, 9:30 shows, all computer-driven music. Come and check it out. Jason handles bass guitar, lead guitar, rhythm, and drums. I'm on keyboards, xylophone. We don't own any instruments, all computer-driven. Pretty neat. Digital. That's at the Holiday Inn in Laplace, 7:30 and 9:30 tonight. We call it Digital Beauty. You can come experience it. Lots of fondue for you at the Laplace Holiday Inn. Come check us out. Oh, boy. Corey Johnson with you. It's a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you're right. Turn that frown upside down. Mid-80s, low humidity, a little coolio front maybe rolling in tomorrow. Great weather weekend. A really good weather weekend. This incredible weather continues. Maybe rain by mid next week. We kind of need some rain. It's getting a little dusty out there. We need a little rain. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Glorious weather day, glorious weather weekend. Even going to be a little cooler, a little less humidity. Gotta love it. Enjoy it. It's been about, 2 weeks of this San Diego, Honolulu stuff. Embrace it. Enjoy it. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We always have the 5 o'clock power hour coming your way each and every weekday afternoon, but 5 o'clock power hour on a Fantasy Friday, always extra special. That 5 o'clock whistle and so much more, like Frank Brigtsen from his Riverbend restaurant, Brigtsen's. Why don't you call right now, see if you can get a reservation, 861-7610. 861-7610. They might have a opening tonight or tomorrow night at Brigtsen. So good. Yeah, Frank Brigtsen will join us in the 5 o'clock power hour. Coming up in about 10 minutes, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Yeah, I know. We were trying to get our A guest. He wasn't available, so we went to the bench. Fletcher Mackel joins us. I'm joking. It's always Fridays with Fletch. We love getting Fletch on because 20-plus years, young enough where he's still passionate about it, old enough where he's experienced, knows what he's talking about, great reporting, and great opinions. He likes giving opinions, has good takes. Fletcher Mackel from Channel 6, Fridays with Fletch in about 10 minutes. Hey, speaking of the bench, all kidding aside, Josh Fleig's going to join us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Michael Hecht on the road. Josh Fleig coming in. Going to do some, pull a little Andy Dalton. The governor was in town at Avondale today. Josh Fleig from Greater New Orleans, Inc., subbing for Michael Hecht, will join us in less than 30 minutes on the program. When you have glorious weather like this, it might be time to knock out some chores, maybe get some painting done around the house. If you're a New Orleanian native, official New Orleanian, you live anywhere in the metro area, you know Helm Paint and Decorating. You know when it's time to paint, you go to Helm Paint and Decorating. You don't go to some chain store. You don't get fooled into buying some cartoon-named coating. Hey, the first 4 letters in the word paint are pain. Yeah, and the last 4 ain't. Like, ain't a good deal. Don't get suckered into buying that. It's not revolutionary. It's paint. It's elastomeric paint that's been around 50, 60 years. Helm's got elastomeric paint. Benjamin Moore, I guarantee you, better quality than those cartoon names, elastomeric paint. They're not using Benjamin Moore. But the folks at Helm, they're not going to steer you in that direction. Don't trust me. Don't even trust Helm for a second. Go talk to any professional painter you know. Any professional painter you know or don't know. Ask them, hey, should I use one of these elastomeric coatings to paint my house, or just a high-quality Benjamin Moore product from Helm with a 25-year warranty or even a lifetime warranty? And believe me, 25 years essentially means lifetime, and lifetime truly does mean lifetime. I just painted my house. I used the Regal Select line of Benjamin Moore paint, what Joey and Ronnie Helm recommended. Christy Helm actually helped me picking out the color, and I'm not making that up. Got the woman's touch. I love what I got, and I got Regal Select lifetime warranty. I'll never paint my house again, but because it's affordable, I can change the color in 5 or 10 years if I like. When the commercial says, hey, it's a lot more affordable than you think, that means it's way overpriced and expensive. Don't get ripped off. Great weather weekend to paint. You know where to go. Helm Paint and Decorating, 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, Hammond, plus 2-hour free delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. You can go online, look at the Benjamin Moore colors, pick out what you want, talk to a pro over the phone at Helm Paint and Decorating. They'll deliver it to you within 2 hours. Keep working. Helm Paint and Decorating, New Orleanians that know. Come on, that's a no-brainer. Anyone that wants to steer you in another direction when it comes to paint, they're steering you in the wrong direction. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour on this Friday brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. Yeah, we got a full slate coming up. Talk about full slate. I think the Pistons are at the Smoothie King Center tonight, right, Jason? A little NBA playoff action, I believe. Pistons, Pels, Smoothie King Center tonight. Preseason NBA game, exhibition game, but it's the new Pels with a very svelte Zion Williamson. I wonder if some lunatic, I was talking about Fletcher Mackel, young enough where he's still passionate, old enough where he's experienced. I think too old to do this gimmick. This is something for like a 25-year-old guy just getting in the biz. I used to do this kind of stuff when I was 25, 30, 35. I'd go to like the Pistons and Pels tonight at Smoothie King Center, get some interviews. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'd be at Tiger Stadium, get some interviews after the game. Then I'd beeline in for like the second half of East Carolina and Tulane at Yeoman, get some interviews. And then Sunday, Seattle and the Saints are in the Dome, more interviews, checking out all the games. And then Monday morning, I'd have a bunch of audio and talk about it. I wonder if any local sports talk cat is going to pull that gimmick. I doubt it, but I don't listen to sports talk really. I'm not, hey, I outgrew it. I didn't outgrow it. I love sports. I stopped watching ESPN 20 years ago. Not because they're liberal. Nothing to do with politics. Just didn't care about the 5th punter for the Baltimore Ravens. Hey, the 5th punter is in camp. Just beating up that kind of dead horse thing. It's just me. I love sports, but I don't want to talk about it that much. After Katrina, it was an easy shift away from that. But no, I like kind of the macro, not the micro. I don't want to dig into all the minutia. Anyway, Fletcher Mackel is going to join us in a few minutes. A macro look at what's going on, including Major League Baseball playoffs cranking up. Josh Fleig subbing for Michael Hecht, who's on the road. Josh Fleig from Greater New Orleans. He'll fill us in on why the governor, John Bel Edwards, was at Avondale today. Are you kidding? Be nice to get that site rolling again on the river. John Fleig will join us in 20 minutes. Frank Brigtsen in an hour from his Uptown restaurant. Yeah, you right. Fantastic weather. Maybe dropping coals tonight. Rouse's Markets has everything, including the grill or the boiling pot. I'm not kidding you. The propane, everything you need. Plus all the goodies that you want. Rouse's Markets, best quality, best price, best selection, convenience, open late, a store in your neighborhood or near your neighborhood. Tastes like home. Perfect for the weekend. You'll be over there. Rouse's Market. Fletcher Mackel next.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Lamarque Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarque Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool socks. NolaAC.com, your cool socks.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. The weekend's upon us. And what a weekend. I was saying this earlier, like in my younger days, I still feel like I'm young. And I'm not going to say chicks because I'll catch abuse from the guy coming up next. But the ladies still think I'm young. All right, maybe not. Anyway, in my younger days, like, I don't know, when I was 25, 28, 30, I might have pulled off the 1, 2, 3, 4 gimmick this weekend. Covered a little Pels, got some interviews. Go to LSU, Tennessee, and Baton Rouge, get some interviews. Beeline in for maybe the second half of East Carolina and Tulane at Yeoman, get some interviews. Seattle and Saints Sunday in the Dome, more interviews, and then Monday do it on my sports talk program. That would have been pre-Katrina in the 90s, early 2000s. I bet this guy is not going to do the 4 for 4, but I bet he pulled some gimmicks like this 15, 18 years ago when he was just getting started. Fletcher Mackel joins us live on the program. What up, Fletch?
All is well, Corey. Thanks for having me.
Yep. How's the 40-year-old diesel Mercedes running?
It's good. I got it serviced this week. It's excellent.
It's excellent. Diesels, $5.50 a gallon,
Yeah, no, it's good. It's in good shape. So hopefully it'll last another couple of years.
Yep, I hear you. And then what will you do, you think? Upgrade to like something similar?
I don't know. I mean, I drove a Jeep. So I drove a Jeep Cherokee before this. It wasn't like I was like some, like classic car guy. I just, had an opportunity to buy this old car and did it, and it rides well.
Now, have you ever driven like somebody's 2018 or 2020 car?
I drive a station vehicle. We have like the what are they, like the Ford Escape?
Yeah, are you driving that going, my God, my car's old?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, my car doesn't drive bad. I've told you that before. Like, my car drives well. It just, the one thing that is always funny when I drive like the WDSU news unit, like tomorrow we're taking that to LSU and I may drive. I step on the gas and it almost feels like I'm in like a rocket ship, because you step on the gas of like a newer car now and yet I just feel like I take off quicker. The one thing in my old car is it doesn't take off fast. It doesn't go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
Right. I think I was in like junior year at De La Salle when that car was built. Like, it's an 84, right?
It's an 84, yeah.
Yeah, I was junior year at De La Salle. That's crazy. Yeah, what's great about like old Mercedes and stuff like that, Fletch, when a strut goes out or whatever, you go get another Bilstein or whatever, Bosch part, some German part, Mercedes part, and it's like new again, where other cars, they kind of get softer and gushier. You replace parts on old Mercedes and they're like new. It's funny. If someone goes, what do you drive? I'm like, I got to drive an older Mercedes, and I drive a 2011 E-Class Mercedes. I got the other one. I ran over 200,000 miles, Corona. I kept it a little longer. It was a 2010, and I upgraded to a 2011. And I laugh at that because I upgraded 1 year newer, but like 100,000 miles less. And it's 11 years old. And then I think about your car, and I just really laugh. But anyway.
Yeah, no, look, and I'll say this. At first I thought, am I crazy to buy this?
Yes.
But I found a great shop that takes care of it whenever it's got, bring it in, get oil changes.
That's key.
Take some minor care of it. And
that's key.
Like the air blows cold, and all the electronics work, the sunroof works, so it's all good.
No, I'm the same way. If I didn't have my mechanic, seriously, a guy I bring it to, and getting the parts at a good price, probably wouldn't drive it. But they don't break that much. I don't think the diesel breaks in my car. The E-Class is like a Camry. It doesn't break at all. Never.
Yeah, that's the one thing they told me. They go, if you take care of these things, you can drive this old diesel. And the guy pointed out, he goes, you see like in like Eastern Europe and North Africa, like in places like Egypt, he goes, that these are the cars they use as police cars in cabs.
Yep.
These old diesel Mercedes sedans.
Oh yeah.
Because if you take care of them, these cars will go like a 500,000 miles.
No, it's true.
So,
without like metallurgy, degrading and all that. No, the airframe, as it were, the chassis are overbuilt. It's German engineering. They know what they're doing. All right, you ready to jump into it, Fletch?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I just got an email. Corey, love you, love the show, love hearing about your car. Don't give a crap about Fletcher and his car. That's what an email just said. Isn't that weird, Fletch?
You're the one who brought it up.
Yeah, but they like me and my car, and it was you and your car they didn't really want to hear about.
That's cool.
All right. I'm lying. I just made that up. No one emailed. All right. Yeah, in the olden days, Fletch, when you were like 25 and just getting going in the business at Channel 6, would you have pulled off? The Pistons are at the Smoothie King Center tonight, right?
Yep, I'm going to be go check it out.
Would you go to that, then go to LSU tomorrow, and then catch the second half of Tulane, East Carolina at Yeoman, and then Saints in the Dome? In the olden days, would there be any shot that you would have done 4 for 4?
So I can tell you right now, I am doing 3 for 4. I'm going to the Pelicans tonight. I am covering LSU tomorrow, and I am certainly obviously covering the Saints on Sunday. I will not make it to Tulane, and more than likely, if Tulane played a night game tomorrow night, I would maybe consider it and think that it was doable. But the thing is Tulane plays at 2:30 tomorrow.
Yep.
So the LSU game is going to end at about 2:30. Let's just say 2:30. Then by the time we get interviews, by the time we edit our stuff and drive in that traffic home, it's probably going to be 5 or 6 before we get home.
That's right.
So, but I am doing 3 of the 4 that you just listed.
And I know you love baseball. You're a former pitcher. College, high school, you still play in that over 60 league, Major League Baseball playoffs. You're going to be catching a lot of that too, man. This is a big weekend.
It is. And this is when I start paying attention to Major League Baseball. Like Major League Baseball, since we don't have a team here, there's not like proximity wise, I guess maybe the Astros, but it's not like, we've ever had, my parents grew up rooting for this team, or I have an affinity for this. So, I love what we have to cover here, with football season is king, the Pelicans now, I love covering the NBA, college sports. But I think for, my lifetime, we did have minor league baseball, obviously,
yep.
But I don't really pay attention to Major League Baseball until now. Now that the playoffs have started, I pay attention. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't have told you much about, I had no idea St. Louis and Philly were going to make it into the playoffs, and I'm watching a game today with St. Louis and Philly. So I knew the Mets were good. I have a friend that works for the Mets, and I went up there this summer, and I knew they were good. I knew the Yankees were good. The Dodgers were obviously good. But other than that, this is when I start to pay attention and go, ooh, okay, let me kind of invest as a fan a little bit more.
Fletcher Mackel's with us from Channel 6 WDSU Sports. All right, so Pistons, Pels. What are you looking for tonight? It's an exhibition game. And normally, Fletch, I'd say there's going to be like 1,800, 2,000, 2,600 in the building. There might be 6,000, 8,000 tonight, huh?
Yeah, I would say definitely between 5,000 and 10,000 you're going to have there tonight for a preseason game.
And wouldn't it normally be, not many, right?
Yeah, normally I'd say for last year, I went to a lot. Last year, the Pelicans had a lot of Friday night games in the fall to open the season. It was during high school football, festivals, people getting, kind of coming back. Delta had kind of died down with the Omicron, with the COVID deal. And in high school football, getting ready for college football, there were some Friday night games that there was like regular season Friday night games where there was like 5,000 or 7,000. They started off so poorly. They started off 3-16 in their first 19 games. It was not good. And so you're right. A preseason game a year ago at this time with the bad news about Zion's foot probably would have had 3 to 5. I think tonight they're probably going to have between 7 and 10 in the building for a preseason game. There's a lot of excitement about the Pelicans. And look, in their first preseason game, it's just preseason. So if the team plays poorly, I'll say it's just preseason. If they play great, I say it's just preseason. But the fact that they played great, I mean, they scored 70 in the first half. Zion looked like he was floating through the air. He looked so light and limber.
Yeah, I want a weight update on this cat, all right? Do some homework. I want the weight at Duke. I want the heaviest weight when he was with the Pels, and I want his weight now. Hey, tomorrow morning, Tennessee's 8th in the country, Fletch. They're 4-0. They're an offensive juggernaut. LSU, their defense, that's the key tomorrow, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think tackling is going to be at a premium. I'll say this, though. I flip it a little bit. LSU offensively, and Brian Kelly said it was the biggest takeaway I had from his Monday press conference. You're not going to beat many good teams when you pass for 85 yards. You can't ask your
true.
Can you imagine how good this defense would have been if Mason Smith hadn't gotten hurt? I mean, with Ojulari, what they're doing now defensively, you're right. They play hard and they get after it, and they are the backbone of this team. But I have no doubts that the defense is going to step up.
Yeah, it's Matt House's thing. If the Tennessee can't be scoring their average, Fletch, we got about 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're right. The defense has to play well, but the LSU offense has to show up more than it did against Auburn. 85 passing yards is not going to beat good teams.
Hey, no Jamison, no Michael Thomas Sunday in the Dome, right?
Right. Andy Dalton, and we'll see. He found a rhythm last week. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Kamara's a go.
Kamara's a go. Kamara told us on Wednesday he feels great, and he's 100% in.
Fletch, you're the man. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the incredible weekend. Fletcher Mackel, Corey Johnson coming right back.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. Ready for the cities. Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, no cool spots.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarque Automotive complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us on the radio, on television. We got on YouTube a few months ago. Check us out there, our YouTube channel, Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. Click to subscribe. Send the link to pals and friends. Every week, Michael Heck joins us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Every week, the segment's brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. Every week, every month, every year, every decade for the last few decades, Latrim has had incredible growth, expansion, and constantly hiring. You go to Latrim.com, they've got a full listing of positions available, and it's not like 2, 3, 4, 5 openings. It's dozens and dozens and dozens of openings all the time at Latrim. East Bankers, West Bankers, Latrim's got you covered at their Elmwood facility. You North Shore folks, Latrim's got a job for you at their Hammond facility. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I. T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Every week, our visit with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc., brought to you by Latrim. Michael is, as we say in the media biz, on assignment. He's on the road. Josh Fleig is with us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. How you doing, Josh?
Hey, I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be playing my best Michael today.
Yeah, man. You got to work on the accent a little bit, but,
Thanks for having me.
Do you spin records as well as Michael does? And do you drive an El Camino?
No, it's a no and a no to both of those, but I aspire to. I'm going to go Cybertruck, though. I'm going to beat Michael to the punch on the Cybertruck.
Nice,
for sure,
there you go.
From Tesla.
Yeah, go electric.
And then, yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I'm going to upgrade from the El Camino.
I'm thinking Ford F-150 electric.
Guy, they're expensive. I mean, they say they start at 40, but good luck finding one for that. And by the time you get anything in it you want, you're looking at like 80, 90. They're super high.
They're trying to lure you in like you guys try to lure in businesses. They give you what, $7,500 back, the feds. That's kind of what it's all about in North America. I don't know what city or state started the incentives, but the last 20, 30, 40 years, it has taken off like a rocket ship, and it is required business unless you just possess something that someone desperately desires and has to be in that locale. I guess that's the only instance where incentives really aren't offered, I guess.
Yeah, natural resources, right? Things like that, where you just got to have whatever's coming up from the ground, or whatever. So you have to have a mountain of a certain height, right? Or some metal that only comes out of the ground in a certain place.
Does Silicon Valley have big inducements, or are those? It's like, man, I got to be in Silicon Valley.
No, it's the opposite, right? Their inducements are the brains inside the people out there. They just become such a magnet for decades. And it really goes back to the 50s even in research and development and computers. But yeah, that's their natural resources. All those smart folks building amazing software products, and so that's just it's hard to compete against that. But in terms of from the state and the local folks, no, they do everything they can to overtax a lot of those folks, right? It's pretty burdensome from a doing business perspective.
No, I was talking to Michael last week. I saw like some second quarter this year, capital investment in San Fran, Silicon Valley is like $18 billion in 3 months. And New York was second at 8, like less than half. And then I think Boston was next. And then everyone else like was $4 billion or less, including LA. And then the outliers that kind of made me mad, Josh, Austin, in getting like $1.5 billion, $2 billion. Just we're getting hundreds of millions and they're getting $2 billion. But Michael probably warned you, watch it. Corey will bring up Austin and Nashville and get mad.
It's nuts, man. You're right. Look, last week Adobe announced they're going to be buying Figma for $20 billion. Just to put it into perspective, right? And these are two Bay Area, Silicon Valley companies. So they're, the guys just moving across the street, right? The largest foreign direct investment project in United States history was the Sasol project over in Lake Charles area down in Cameron. And that was $17 billion. And these mega deals are just huge. $20 billion for one software product Adobe paid last week.
Wow.
Huge.
Yep. And I'm not knocking the liquefied natural gas, but this is, or whatever, turning diesel into, coal into diesel, whatever. I'm not knocking any of that. But these are white collar tech jobs, and it's not, hundreds or 1,000 or 2. It's hundreds of thousands of white collar jobs with insane salary. People complain about gentrification, like on Claiborne or St. Claude or something. It's like gentrification in San Francisco, where the $5,000 rent becomes $10,000 rent. That's insane gentrification.
Right. And they won't let you build up in the South Bay Area out there. And so they're super restrictive, right? They talk about NIMBYism. That's about as bad as it gets. And so the local government restricts, the ability to build new housing. And so it just drives this price up because it's such a scarcity of options.
Josh Fleig's with us from Greater New Orleans. Hey, Josh, the governor was in town today over on the Best Bank at Avondale. Anybody that goes over that UEP Long Bridge and sees that facility, love to see that thing bustling. You drive by it, you can see the old businesses that are boarded up that used to support thousands of workers working at the shipyard. Some good news maybe for a new diversified Avondale and business coming back to that West Bank facility.
Yeah, that's right. It was a big morning. So today was all about the unveiling of the new brand, the new branding, the new strategy. It's now the Avondale Global Gateway. Governor was out there to celebrate today. The president of T. Parker Host, the group that owns Avondale, is spoke for a long time, and it's a big deal. I got to give them credit. They've worked their butts off out there to remediate a lot of the old, plumbing. And I use that word both literally and metaphorically, but to get things back to, into commerce, it's taken them a few years. And then obviously in the middle of all that, we've had, a couple hurricanes and a pandemic. And those guys have still been focused on their mission of putting that property back into commerce and attracting folks that can make things, add value to things coming in from the port, create jobs. So it's a big deal.
What are some of their ideas, their thoughts? I mean, I know we bring in a lot of coffee. We have large roasting plants here, about a half dozen. That's fantastic. We bring in a lot of rubber, but we don't have tire plants. What are they going to do at Avondale that, is something that the port, brings in, brings out, and we can create manufacturing jobs and the like from that?
Yeah. So I think there's still a lot of potential to mold this narrative, and I don't know that they're if we're placing bets right now, we know exactly how things are going to end up in the next few years, but it looks like some of their momentum is definitely in this wind energy space. You've got a handful of smaller companies out there that have some novel products in the windmill space or the generation of wind turbines out in the Gulf that they're actively working on at Avondale to try to figure that piece out. So if that takes off, I think that Avondale will be primed for the manufacturing and R&D work related to wind energy potentially. So it all makes a lot of sense. Or you can fabricate stuff out there. You can import all the materials and pieces and parts you need, put them together, and then you can put them on the right size ships to get them out into the Gulf and stand them up and have them generate electricity. So the story makes a lot of sense, and you've got a couple players in that space that are out there at Avondale working on that right now.
Those cranes out there, I mean, I don't know if they're gantry cranes or what. Old. I mean, might be 40, 50 years old from a shipbuilding era that no longer exists. Yeah. Is all that coming down? Are they going to utilize some of that? What's the visual going to look like for Avondale?
Yeah, I think that's still TBD. I think what they've been doing the last couple of years is remediating some of the ground issues that they've had, working on the roads, knocking down some of the old buildings that they couldn't rehab, working on electrical, working on plumbing, stormwater, all those sorts of kind of unfun, unsexy sort of things, but are kind of critical to inspire confidence in attracting new businesses to locate out there.
So kind of the footprint, where the slab is, the building, sort of the foundation, that's remaining. They're not like clearing the land and starting from scratch.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Any assets that are usable out there, and if they were looking at it purely from a spreadsheet to some degree, right? Saying, look, if it's going to cost us more to repair this thing than it is to push it over, we're going to push it over. And if we can repair it, let's repair it. So you still have a handful. In fact, the event this morning with the governor was held inside this massive warehouse. It was actually in pretty good shape. Save for the fact that there's no air conditioning in a 200,000 square foot warehouse. It was, right. It was
a massive building that's got a lot of potential.
A lot of potential to do really big things in there too. And that's, that stuff is not in oversupply down here, having these massive structures where we can do things like assemble a massive wind turbine that's going to go out in deep waters in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep. Hey, Josh, thanks so much, man. Always a pleasure. Really enjoyed having you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I hope I did my best, Michael, for y'all. So, but yeah, we really appreciate it.
I'm going to give Michael grief next week and tell him, fantastic, and got to get you on more and maybe rotate. Give him some grief. Right. Keep him honest, right. Josh. I got to keep him honest.
No, you do. He needs some competition for these media slots, right? So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh. Have a great weekend. Corey Johnson. Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarque team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarque Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday. Is that Mr. Kermit's? Pray for Kermit's little girl. You remember the wife was shot. Baby is born with some problems. So keep Kermit's daughter in your prayers. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Kind of wearing like a little workout-ish outfit from earlier today. You know, normally I might wait till the weekend. Start on Monday. I had a fantastic idea. You know what? Start on Friday. And fade into the weekend and keep working out. You get over that hump of a week or two and you're on your way. I was talking to a buddy and he's like, man, I love working out. And I'm like, I love M&Ms. And I was thinking, I love M&Ms and they're really tasty. And he's saying, I love working out. And I was thinking, okay, maybe they're like M&Ms. And then I started working out and hadn't done it in a while. And I was like, God, I'm winded. This hurts. I'm tired. My muscles hurt. This isn't like eating M&Ms at all. Anyway, hopefully I can keep it up. I'm skeptical, I swear, because it's just the coronavirus crisis. I'm not excuse maker. Just telling you, I got lazy, sitting on my rear end and kind of enjoying it for a little while. It's like, I guess, a drug, you know, and now I'm just like an addict of laziness, of sitting on my rear end and not, or an addict of not exercising enough and trying to get back into it. But that winded thing and ow, my muscles hurt. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now as we get the weekend cranked up? You know the vibe at Katie's right now, a little bit before 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in New Orleans with Pelicans at the Smoothie King Center tonight and a little exhibition basketball. Tomorrow morning, LSU. Tomorrow afternoon, Tulane. Sunday, the Saints. Major League Baseball playoffs. Plus a lot of good music and all kind of good stuff. Great weather. Incredible weather weekend. All those outside tables wrapping around the building at Katie's. Why aren't you at Katie's in Mid-City? What a great way to start the weekend. Wind down your Friday and accelerate into Friday evening and Friday night. Katie's in Mid-City right now, full of a bunch of New Orleans characters. Neighborhood folks that come from outside the neighborhood that are regulars. And then some tourists, maybe you, me. Katie's in Mid-City. Hey, you folks that love Katie's that maybe live out in Harahan, the Katie's of Harahan is bienvenue right there in the curve on Hickory Avenue. The Katie's of Harahan, bienvenue. You River Ridge, Old Jefferson folks, Elmwood, the Katie's of Harahan, bienvenue. And yeah, get to Katie's right now. All weekend long, doing it right at Katie's in Mid-City. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Some absolutely outstanding weather. Mid-80s right now, low humidity. Tomorrow morning and tomorrow lunchtime, a Coolio front is supposed to roll in. Nothing dramatic, but it's going to drop temperatures just a hair and drop humidity even a little lower, which is fantastic. You got to like that. Mid-80s, low humidity. No, just gorgeous weather weekend. It's going to go into Monday, Tuesday. We might see some rain midweek next week. Maybe some rain by Wednesday. Now, I'm loving this mild cold front coming in because it's already nice temps and low humidity. Another good weekend. Third weekend in a row of just San Diego, Honolulu weather. I can't stress it enough. Drop the coals, boil some seafood, get outside. Walk the dog, walk yourself, go sit on the porch, just get outside. Absolutely fantastic weather out there. Get out and enjoy it. Hey, if you miss the 4 o'clock hour, you miss Fletcher Mackel. And you also just miss Josh Fleig from Greater New Orleans Inc., filling in for Michael Hecht, filling us in on the new Avondale. Avondale becoming the Avondale Global Gateway today. Governor John Bel Edwards over there. Hey, coming up in a few minutes, we'll go to the Riverbend, the Carrollton section of Uptown. That's maybe my favorite neighborhood. I love it. So much there. You got the Riverbend, you've got Maple Street, you've got Oak Street, you've got Willow. They're all right there. Where St. Charles and Carrollton intersect. River Road into Jefferson Parish is easy. If you got to go into Uptown, you got St. Charles or Ferret or Claiborne's. Beeline over to Britannia Magazine once you get into Uptown. I love that Carrollton section of Uptown. The old City Hall, the old Ben Franklin High School, they got a couple of 3-story brick brand new buildings with balconies on either side. That's all turning into like condos, apartments, some retail on the bottom, coffee shop and the like. Now it's like a little town over there. It's quaint. It's cool. It's got, I'll tell you what, there are more good restaurants in the Riverbend Carrollton section of Uptown than all of Jefferson Parish and maybe all of the North Shore. Right. I'll put the Carrollton section of Uptown restaurants, eateries up against Metairie, Jefferson Parish, maybe even the North Shore. And it's funny, I'm saying maybe even the North Shore. Oh, the North Shore has much better restaurants than Jefferson Parish. That's just a fact. Jefferson Parish is almost a high-end, mid to high-end restaurant desert. I mean, Fausto's, seriously, if you play Fury's, I'm not trying to, Corey, these are your places. I know, I tout the best. There ain't too many. There's not too many. North Shore's got probably a good 6, 8, 10 mid-high, high-end restaurants. So does that Carrollton Riverbend section. One of them's Brigtsen's. It's hard to beat Brigtsen's. Frank Brigtsen will join us in 20 minutes to discuss what's fresh, what's cooking, all that good stuff. Yeah, we talk New Orleans. I mean, thank God for Fridays, man. LaToya the Destroyer, Jeff Landry running for governor. It beat you up the Monday through Thursday covering all this New Orleans, Louisiana news. Got to cover it. It's real news. You're not going to overlook it. Hey, what's your best roast beef po' boy? I might ask you that, but that's not going to be the topic. So got to cover that stuff every day. Just, boy, wears you out. Fantasy Fridays are great. I like talking a little sports with Fletch and talk a little economic development with Greater New Orleans Inc. and food with Frank Brigtsen. Are you kidding me? Hey, it's a New Orleans institution since 1940. Looking to experience the best dry cleaner? It's Young's Dry Cleaning. New Orleanians that know Young's Dry Cleaning. Check them out for yourself. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. 5 o'clock power hour is now.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry, superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
Oh boy, the ratings have plummeted, so we're going to show the Jump the Shark episode. That actually became a term in television. And Fonzie jumping the shark wasn't the first to start it. I think like Brady Bunch going to Hawaii, things like that to spike a show's sagging ratings. Fonzie, of course, on water skis jumped a shark. Fonzie wearing a bathing suit and, of course, the leather jacket. Utterly ridiculous. With no water skiing, experience. Plus, it's Milwaukee, the water skiing capital of the world. Jumping the shark. Our ratings have dropped a little bit, so we're bringing in topless ladies into the studio. It doesn't really help you on radio, but television and YouTube, here come the topless ladies. All right, I'm kidding. Ladies, it's topless men. We're bringing in the LA hard bodies. Just kidding. We don't have a shark to jump. We just keep on grinding and keep on rolling. Thank goodness it's a Fantasy Friday. I don't have to talk about goofy Jeff Landry or LaToya the Destroyer. I don't have to get physically, mentally beat up and abused by New Orleans and Louisiana politics. Geesh. Now it's a Fantasy Friday. I got to talk sports for about 10 minutes with Fletcher Mackel. I got to talk a little economic development. The governor was at Avondale today. The Avondale Global Gateway is what that facility is known as. Did that with Josh Fleig from Greater New Orleans Inc., filling in for a Michael Hecht on the road. Frank Brigtsen, we're going to talk food in about 10, 12 minutes. That's as New Orleans as it gets. A little sports, food, music. Can't all be, politics and news and stuff like that. What is it? All work and no play makes John a dull boy or something like that. Anyway. Hey, guess the place that just opened their doors 7 minutes ago for the night. Fausto's Italian Bistro and Vets. They're going for the next 5 hours. They'll roll till 10 p.m. You can sit at the bar and watch some Pelicans exhibition basketball or some Major League Baseball playoffs. You can dine inside, or you can sit outside tonight at Fausto's with this fantastic weather. Bring some friends. Get a bottle of wine. Get some great appetizers. Get some great Sicilian and Italian tonight at Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Convenient, easy, great people, great service, and excellent Sicilian and Italian. Yeah, take advantage of the weather and dine outside already. Fausto's Italian Bistro is open. They'll roll till 10 p.m. tonight. So good. Hey, it is a little bit after 5 p.m. on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you're right. Love it. The weekend's about to crank up. The work week is in the books. I like recognizing this very moment of the week, kind of putting the spotlight on it, not taking it for granted. Sort of this limbo period. Work week done, weekend just about to start. We recognize this moment by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. I said we recognize this moment by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock whistle every Friday, appropriately brought to you by Super Discount Store in Chalmette. I hope you know the drill by now, huh? Especially you folks. I don't know what you're waiting for. You folks that buy expensive wine by the case, you're like, it's Chalmette. They don't have the wine I drink. Yeah, they do. They've got the expensive wine you drink. I don't care if it's 40, 50, 80 bucks a bottle, 100 bucks a bottle, and you're buying it by the case. The Fluke Super Discount Store doesn't have it. They will get it, and it'll cost you less than where you're presently getting it. You drink Pappy Van Winkle, you drink expensive whiskey or bourbon, high-end stuff, they've got it at Super Discount Store in Chalmette. And if they don't have it, they will get it. And they'll get it for you, what you want, the quantity you want. By the bottle, the 6-pack, the case, the pallet full. You folks that buy expensive wine by the case, this is the place in New Orleans. Forget about what you think. Super Discount Store, Chalmette, whatever. I want high-end wine. I'm cultured. Whatever. Super Discount Store has it for you. High-end whiskey, liquor, bourbon, they've got it for you. Beer, local, domestic, imports, they got it for you. And again, the fluke they don't, they'll get it for you. And this is the best part. For the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law, no one's lower. It's got to be Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Super Discount Store!
Oh, yeah. 5 o'clock whistle brought to you by Super D. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Absolutely incredible weather. Mid-80s, low humidity. Just gorgeous weather. Weekend today, tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow around noon. I don't think we're going to notice it. But a Coolio front is rolling in. Slightly lower temperatures, slightly lower humidity. We'll get back into those 60s when you wake up in New Orleans. I don't know if it's tomorrow morning, but definitely Sunday, Monday, Tuesday morning. It'll be 60s and sunny in New Orleans on the South Shore. And then that means 50s. Might even get like a 47, 48 somewhere on the North Shore. Yeah, you're right. That's mosquito killing weather. And just, blue skies, no rain. Might get some rain mid next week, like Wednesday. That's sort of the prediction right now, 5 days out. But just fantastic weather. Only going to get better tomorrow morning, tomorrow around lunch. Great Saturday, great Sunday, great Monday, great Tuesday. Got to love it. Get outside and enjoy it. I'm dropping coals tonight. Got the Weber kettle. Going to throw down some coals, do some grilling. Might make some shish kebab. I was talking about Lebanon's yesterday and all the shish kebab they got going. I picked up a to-go order there yesterday. I was like, I might do shish kebab myself on the grill. So, no, just great weather. Boil some seafood, get outside, weed the garden, go to the hunting camp, the fishing hole, go play tennis, go play golf, walk the dog, walk yourself, get outside, sit outside. Telling you, it's just really nice. Love the lower temperatures and the lower humidity. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We're going to go to the Riverbend. See what Frank Brigtsen's up to in about 5 minutes. Tonight at the Smoothie King Center, more Zion Williamson, more Pels. I don't even think we're going to see much of Brandon Ingram. A few minutes, maybe, maybe not. Don't need to. This Pels team could be pretty damn good this year. McCollum and Zion, I'm waiting for a weight loss number. I think it's got to be 30 pounds. 7 p.m. tonight, the Pistons are in town, Smoothie King Center. I was telling Fletcher last hour, Fletch, what do you get on a preseason game in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center? Maybe 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 2,800 actual fans in the stands. Not many folks. You might see 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 a night. Friday night, the excitement, the buzz of the Pels. 7 o'clock tonight, Smoothie King Center. Detroit and the Pelicans going at it. Exhibition basketball. Tomorrow morning, not ideal for Tiger fans, but, so be it. 11 a.m., I was about to say, it is what it is, which is as bad as my bad. It is what it is. Yeah, of course it is. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, number 8 Tennessee, the Vols are 4-0, taking on 25th ranked LSU. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's on ESPN. That's just kind of brutal, 11 a.m. It just doesn't seem right. Hey, it's 11:03 and the game's going on. Crazy. Hey, here's a piece of bacon and some toast. LSU's in the first quarter. Anyway, Tennessee's favored by 2.5. The Vols are 4-0. They're 8th ranked in the land. They have an offense putting up 40-something a game. Matt House in the LSU defense got to show up tomorrow. Tennessee scores 40-something, LSU loses. East Carolina is at Yeoman tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, you're right. The Green Wave's 3-1. East Carolina at Yeoman tomorrow, 2:30 kickoff. Tulane is 45th in the country. Tulane is 45th in the latest AP poll. How cool is that? By the way, the Wave is 4-1. My bad. Tulane 4-1. East Carolina 3-2. Tulane's favored by 3 in this ball game tomorrow afternoon at Yeoman. And then Sunday, a noon kickoff in the Dome. 2-2 Seattle. This is a must-win for the 1-3 Saints. Kind of a must-win. Yet they're only one game out of first place. The NFC's full of 2-2 teams. The NFL is full of 2-2 teams. Go pull up records right now. You're going to freak. Hey, coming up next, Frank Brigtsen joins us from his Riverbend restaurant, Brigtsen's, for over 35 years. Talking a little food next on a Fantasy Friday.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarque team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarque Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region, with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommy'slockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris
The
Road.
lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Jason, I thought I'd get your Friday going in the right way. Are you ready? Mayor Cantrell to attend Bloomberg, CityLab, and Mayor's Innovation Studio in Amsterdam. Mayor LaToya Cantrell today will travel to Amsterdam, the Netherlands, to attend the Bloomberg CityLab Conference of Mayors Innovation Studio. She returns on Tuesday. I would bet the mayor flew coach. And if she flew first class, then my next logical conclusion would be that she's going to use campaign funds to pay back that money and not her personal money. Isn't that ridiculous? Another junket living up to the nickname Junket Cantrell, going to a mayor's BS conference in Amsterdam that is meaningless, pointless, will not help a citizen in New Orleans, will not bring $1 to our city, is meaningless for us, does nothing for us. Zero. Nothing. No one on planet Earth's like, man, really want to hear what LaToya Cantrell has to say. Seriously, what would she be an expert on? I'm not trying to be a jerk. If this thing had, if there was some part of it that needed to be, viewed, looked at, the mayor talked about, whatever. Let me put you this way. I guarantee you there'll be a big screen and people on Zoom and in other places in the world at that conference. Maybe even a keynote speaker. I'm coming from my den in Tokyo. I'm broadcasting from Vancouver. The mayor could easily do that too. We all know that. Hey, I hope you're not planning on going to Brigtsen's tonight, because Frank Brigtsen, he takes these junkets all the time. Frank's probably in like Tokyo or South Africa or Amsterdam or Australia. I guarantee you Frank Brigtsen's not cooking in the kitchen at his restaurant. He just takes junkets all the time. Hey, Frank.
Oh, hi, Corey. Can you hear me?
Frank, if you weren't in the kitchen all the time, if Marna wasn't at the front, all kidding aside, the restaurant industry, you want your restaurant or bar or club to fail, don't have the owners around. That's how they fail, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. I agree with that.
I was joking.
I'm calling from Lyon. I'm in the Provence area of France doing a little menu research.
Uh-oh.
Trying to pick up some French techniques, and I should be back to the restaurant in 3 to 4 months.
You flew first class, too, I know.
No, Marta did. I was in coach.
Nice. There you go. I know how that works. How you doing, Frank? All kidding aside, I know you're not taking any junkets. You're working. You've been working at that restaurant for 35 plus years.
Yep, and I love it more today than I ever have. It's just great. Been a busy week, a lot of stuff going on. Teaching up at Nichols, buying groceries, all that good stuff.
Frank, you guys are open Tuesday through Saturday. How many days have you missed when you guys have been open?
Less than 50.
Literally, like you in 35 years, that when you guys are open a Tuesday through Saturday night, you've never gone for a few days or a week or 2 weeks or something, and hey, the sous chef will run things.
Nope, never have done that.
So you're talking you might miss on average about a night a year?
Well, 2 to 3 a year, I would say.
Wow.
These days, like Marta's, she's home on Wednesday nights because she works the office on Wednesdays, and she says, it's slow, why don't you just stay home with me? And I'm like, I love you, honey, but I love to go to work and see my people, so.
Yep. Yep.
She knows that.
It's so true what I said too to start things, Frank. If you're not in there, Marna's not in there, her sisters, if it's not family, if it's not employees that are like family, you go out of business pretty quick, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so easy for things to just change kind of under the radar. Little changes, you really aren't aware of them.
Yep.
And then before you know it, a dish is nothing like I originated it. Things like that. The way a salad is tossed is one. Because there's some judgment calls in there, you know, how much of each ingredient to put in the bowl, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And so every now and then I give a refresher course, call everybody around and say, here's the way I like it. And, you know, you really have to keep your eyes on everything. There's so many moving parts, you know, and there's always a sister on duty up front, either Marna, Sandy, or Rhonda.
Yep.
And Larry and I are in the kitchen.
Frank Brigtsen's with us from his restaurant in the Riverbend. The phone number over there, by the way, is 861-7610. 861-7610. Put it in your phone. Frank, I said open Tuesday through Saturday night. Any openings tonight or tomorrow night for dinner at Brigtsen's?
Unfortunately, no. I had a friend of a friend wanted to eat at 6:30 tonight. They were going to a meeting afterwards, so they wanted to eat quick. So they have a 1 hour window. I want to squeeze them in for a 1 hour dinner. But it's pretty tight this weekend. But give us a call for next week. Weekends, you know, Saturday and Friday, they book up pretty quick. So try and plan ahead, but don't hesitate to call that day either, because things change.
Yep.
A Ford top cancels last minute or something like that. So it's a very fluid thing.
861-7610. 861-7610, the number at Brigtsen's. What's on the menu tonight, Frank? I mean, we're getting a little pseudo-cool front end tomorrow, going to lower the humidity temperatures. We're going from summer to fall now. What's changing food-wise, and how's that reflective of your menu?
Well, I think what we notice is changes in what people are ordering. In other words, for instance, I met a couple last night. They have a place here in town. They live out of town, but every time they come, this is the only place they eat, and which is very nice to hear. And he overheard another table say that was the best pork chop he ever had. So he's coming back tonight to get that.
Nice.
And so it's a killer dish, and it's really straight up. I mean, there's nothing exotic or fancy about it. It's a pan-roasted pork chop with mashed potatoes and pork de brie sauce, which is like the most intense pork gravy you can imagine. And it's just killer. I mean, I eat that gravy over rice or mashed potatoes almost every day. Just a little cup of it, because it's so intense and good. Chef Larry Herbert makes that. And it takes 4 to 5 hours and a lot of effort, but the richness and intensity of flavor is unparalleled.
Yeah, well, Lauren LaRuth once said, you know, if a steak's a good steak, a fish is a good piece of fish, I mean, hard to mess it up. You almost have to overcook it to mess it up. So you said, you know, it's a pork chop, it's just kind of basic, and that might be true, but like the 15 hours of brining it and the way you guys cook it, you know, maybe the layman can duplicate it, something that 99 out of 100 people cannot duplicate. And then the 1 out of 100 that might be able to, it's so time consuming, and you're doing it for what, like one meal? They can't duplicate that debris sauce you were talking about, Frank. That's what makes it Brigtsen's and not just comfort food that sort of anybody could make. That's what puts it over the top. Your sauces and gravies and stuff are just, they're outrageous.
Yeah, I think that's a strong point, Corey. You know, I call it Frank food. You'll see menu description like lemon crab sauce. Oh, a little lemon, a little crab. Well, there's about 15 ingredients in that sauce, and it takes 2 hours to make, because I'm all about building flavors, layers of flavors, and how can I make this the best it can possibly be. And I use, you know, really fundamental techniques, especially Louisiana techniques, by using aromatic vegetables to give a more complex flavor and spices. And really good stocks, of course. That lemon crab sauce, we use a crab stock in it, but we also add more gumbo crabs to the sauce. So we're doubling down the crab richness, and then it all gets strained out. So it has an intense crab flavor with a touch of lemon. And, it's what I love to do. I love to build flavors like that.
That fillet's like that, too. I mean, first off, you're starting with the right steak. It's a nice fillet, like 6-8 ounces. It's a Angus steak, so it's better than just the regular fillet. And even like a choice fillet is good because they're so tender. And then, but what puts it over the top, Frank, besides that is the seasoned right and all that, but it's the sauce again. It's just special.
Yeah, Tasso Marchand Duvin sauce. Marchand Duvin means merchant of wine, and it's a classic French sauce for beef made with mushroom, shallots, red wine, beef stock, of course, and usually ham as a little seasoning meat, and we use Chef Parpado's Tasso instead.
Wow.
Just a little bit. It's not spicy or anything, but it is well seasoned like all my food.
And fatty. You get a little fat flavor, right?
Yeah, you do. You do. Paul was all about pork fat. When I used to butcher everything over there, I was trimming a pork chop, fat. And he said, no, you never cut fat off a pork chop. And you always cut fat off a lamb. That was his philosophy about things.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, we fry that tasso. We dice it up in little squares and cook it hard so that little bit of fat renders. And so you get a subtle smokiness in the sauce.
That's incredible. That's great. Frank, what else is on the menu tonight? What seafood you got going?
We have, we're still getting flounder, which I'm real happy about. So we have pan-fried flounder with roasted pecans and Meunier sauce. Always a winner.
Yep.
We have striped bass as our broiled fish. Really nice, mild, kind of like me. It's mild and flaky. And then we're getting beautiful tuna. Late August and into the fall is when the tuna is really at its peak. I don't know why. Maybe there's something to do with they're fattening up for the winter or something. But the meat is deep red and a good fat content, so it's nice and juicy. Served with smoked corn sauce, red bean salsa, and roasted red pepper sour cream. And we do nice big thick tuna steaks, 1.5 inches to 2. And we cook it medium rare unless you want something different. We're happy to do whatever temperature you like.
What's the creme brulee flavor tonight?
Oh, lemon icebox blueberry creme brulee.
That's silly.
That's a go-to dessert for me.
Yeah.
And I also love our bread pudding right now. We're doing a butterscotch bread pudding, and I can't get enough of that butterscotch sauce.
Well, what am I supposed to do about the chocolate cake and the pecan pie?
Exactly.
Sheesh.
One of each for the table.
Yeah, you're talking. That's a good way to end the meal. That's a really good way to end the meal. Hey, Frank, any final thoughts until next week besides this glorious weather, big sports weekend? We got Pels tonight at the arena, a little preseason. LSU tomorrow morning. Tulane's at home tomorrow afternoon. Saints are at home Sunday. Major League Baseball playoffs. Wow.
Yeah, it's really happening. I was listening to the St. Louis Cardinals game in my car this afternoon. Of course, they lost at the end, but I love October baseball. It's so exciting. It's so meaningful at each and every game, and so I love baseball. And if you're looking for something different, not sports, my good friend Simon Gunning is an artist, and he has a beautiful show right now for the month of October up at the Arthur Roger Gallery. If you're in that area, stop by and check out his wonderful art, local artists.
Where's that gallery, Frank?
I don't know the exact street or address off the top of my head.
What is it again? What's the name?
Arthur Roger. he has been, he's had a gallery for decades here in New Orleans. He's extremely well known.
The author Roger Gallery?
Yes. He's a master. He really is. And
432 Julia Street.
There you go. I thought I was going to say Warehouse District.
Yeah.
And Simon I've known for many, many years. He was a waiter, has been a waiter for a long time, but he's just painting now, and his work is extremely special.
That's incredible. So much talent in this town, Frank. I often say, could be a waiter, bus driver, welder, architect, doctor, can paint, can sculpt, can sing, can play an instrument, like world-class level. The talent level in this city is off the charts.
It really is. And, it's great to support our local craftsmen, artists, restaurants, whatever it might be. Local hardware for that matter.
Yep.
But just throwing that out there for an alternative. If you're downtown, spend 30, 40 minutes in there, and I bet you stay longer.
Sometimes, Frank, on a Friday, I'll be talking to you at 5:20. In an hour, I'll be walking my dogs, and George Porter's out there. And I'm like, man, I talked to a James Beard award-winning world-class chef that could work in Paris or New York and open his restaurant there. It'd be one of the best. And then I got George Porter, one of the best bass players. I'm like, New Orleans is pretty cool, man. I'm talking to like astronauts and F-16 fighter pilots. It's crazy. World class, Frank.
I couldn't live anywhere else.
Well, you bring a lot to the city. World class, man. And the best part about you is just humble and kind guy.
Well, I appreciate that. And I wish everybody a beautiful weekend. Have some fun, enjoy the weather, and take care of each other.
You're the man, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. All the best, brother.
Yeah, you're right. That's Frank Brigtsen joining us on the program. No, just a humble guy, too. Just incredible. Love getting him on the show. So glad he joins us every week. It's pretty nice. Hey, every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. You might be using heat. North Shore folks, we might see some high 40s and 50s over the weekend. South Shore in the 60s. Maybe you're not even running the unit on the South Shore, but you'll be running heat soon enough. Air conditioning help, heat help. All you need to know is River City's Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. They know you're inconvenienced. They get it fixed right away. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. Find River City's Total Maintenance at NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com. Every day, we broadcast live on radio, on television, on YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We do it from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
The Lamarque Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarque Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Hey, on the causeway right now, why don't you fire in a to-go order from Trey Yen? The phone number's 985-626-4476. 626-4476. Curbside delivery. They'll literally walk it right out to your car. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Better yet, why don't you dine in at Trey Yen? At the foot of the causeway, you North Shore folks. South Shore folks. Foot of the causeway. That means 25 minutes from Lakeside Mall to the parking lot at Trey Yen in Mandeville. Critically acclaimed, nationally recognized. Trey Yen at the White House. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. Trey Yen tonight for dinner. The governor, John Bel Edwards, in town today, promoting the new Avondale, the Avondale Global Gateway. They're going to try to do a lot of different things at this one facility. Ideally, imports that come in can be taken off of ships at Avondale and maybe manufacturing going on right there instead of going out of state. I mean, we bring in more rubber than any other port, and it goes to other states where they have tire factories, tire plants. We should have a tire plant with all the rubber coming in. Just like we do a good job with coffee. We have all this coffee import, and we have a lot of roasting plants, like a half dozen in Metro New Orleans, the largest in the world out in the East. No, that kind of added value where the natural resource that we bring in, we manufacture something from it right here in Metro New Orleans. That's why the governor was here, this Avondale Global Gateway. You would think LaToya Cantrell, even though it's Avondale, it's Metro New Orleans. That's good for the city, that she might be in an event like that. But no, she's on her way to Amsterdam. I'm not kidding you. She's heading to the Netherlands for some BS mayor's, meeting that is irrelevant, that will not create a job, will not benefit New Orleans. Not a penny or nickel comes to the city. This is strictly Junket Cantrell saying, I'm going on another taxpayer finance vacation. And she's probably just going to watch it a little bit and go fly coach, and still go to Amsterdam and still enjoy that trip. The there and back won't be on a first-class plane, first-class seat, but she still gets to go to Europe on the city's dime and justifies it as a legitimate expense when everybody on planet Earth, except the mayor and maybe a half dozen other people, think it's legitimate city business. It's a joke. It's a farce. It's insulting. It's rude. It's pathetic. Can't be stressed enough. It's Junket Cantrell doing her usual gimmick. I'm going to juice the city for as much money as I can personally. Take advantage of my position and go on a trip to the Netherlands because I'll never, ever have this opportunity again. I mean, are you kidding me? You think I'm paying for that plane ticket, that hotel? Come on, it's Mayor LaToya Cantrell. Free meals on the city. Free trips on the city. She is maxing that out. She knows as well as we all know. Her 15 minutes are up soon. The last, if she doesn't get recalled, voted out of office, the last year or two of her in office is going to be setting up nonprofits, ideally a single one that she can run. And that money's coming in steadily, and she'll end up taking about 90% of the money for a salary and 10% of the money going to some pal or friend that's supposed to provide a service for the nonprofit. I'm not trying to be a jerk. You can go, God, Corey, you're being harsh. If you can provide value to somebody, someone's going to hire you. But just being a former mayor doesn't guarantee anything. I remember a local law firm hired Mark Morial. They got nothing out of Mark. They didn't care if he showed up for work or not. They thought he was going to lure in business. He didn't. After about 9 months, they let him go. Just didn't work. No value there. There's no one in the real world that has a business that's trying to make money that's going, man, having LaToya Cantrell could be beneficial. Unless it's some maybe city contractor type, some BS middleman that maybe you can help us get through the, cracks and crevices of city government so you can solidify these potential contracts for us, that type of thing. Maybe, and it would have to be someone becoming mayor that Cantrell knows or has a decent relationship with, and that's probably a limited number of people. No, she knows her 15 minutes are up soon. This is the peak. It's only going to be downhill from here. There's not going to be more Pontalba apartment and, first-class flights and all that. Two things on this Amsterdam trip. The mayor's either flying coach, and if she is flying first class, then her campaign is going to pay for it. I don't know how much money she has in her campaign war chest. I wouldn't think very much. But there's no way, no how, if the mayor has to pull out her own checkbook and pay for first class airfare, it is not happening. That is impossible. I would think she's flying coach. And if she's flying first class, she must have some money in her campaign fund to pay it that way. No, just pathetic. The mayor, LaToya Cantrell, in Amsterdam until Tuesday. Anything that's going on there, she could have done by a Zoom meeting, Zoom call. I promise you this mayor's meeting, some mayors from around the world in Amsterdam, there will be some mayors that coronavirus crisis, whatever, crisis at home, couldn't make the trip. And there's going to be a big screen in that room, and it'll be someone on a Zoom or, Cisco WebEx call doing it that way and not there. The mayor could easily be doing that, but this is all about a junket and a free trip. No, it just never ends. It's just pathetic. Hey, the program ends at 6 o'clock. We do it 4 to 6, 2 big hours every weekday, 93.9 FM. Cox Channel 4 TV, Spectrum Channel 333 TV, all over Louisiana, 4 to 5:30 on TV. CoreyTalks.com live streaming. We're also on YouTube. I love YouTube because you can check out the show live. You can check out the show after the fact. We had Fletcher Mackel on earlier, giving us a little preview on even Pels tonight at the Smoothie King Center, a little preseason action. Tomorrow morning, Tennessee LSU. Tomorrow afternoon, East Carolina at Tulane. Sunday, no Jameis Winston, no Michael Thomas. It's going to be the Andy Dalton show. Kamara's healthy, though. Saints in the Dome hosting Seattle. Almost a must-win. At 1-3, I'd say it is a must-win, but Atlanta and Tampa Bay are 2-2. Go look at the NFL. I think like half the league's 2-2. It's insane. Major League Baseball playoffs, a lot going on this weekend. Mayor in Amsterdam, governor in New Orleans today, more specifically at Avondale on the West Bank, the Avondale Global Gateway. Josh Fleig, filling in for Michael Heck, joined us from Greater New Orleans Inc. to fill us in on that. Yeah, Josh Fleig, Fletcher Mackel, Frank Brigtsen. You can catch them all on YouTube or Anchor or iTunes or Spotify. Hey, every day this show on radio, on television, on YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com, brought to you by the Lamarque Automotive Complex. Lamarque Ford, the big store, #1 Ford dealership in the region, nearly 50 years. Legendary. You know what Ronnie did? He's got the big store at the Lamarque Automotive Complex, I-10 Williams Boulevard in Cantrell, right on the corner, right on the price, the car corner. And then he went across the parish to Jefferson Highway and scooped up Crescent City Ford. So the big store by the lake in the Lamarque Automotive Complex, and now Lamarque Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway by the river, bridging the gap. Every day, this program on radio, television, YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarque Automotive Complex and now Lamarque Crescent City Ford.
Hey, y'all, it's Junket Cantrell. And I gotta tell you, the summer of 2022 and the travel I've experienced, well, it's memories of a lifetime. I mean, come on, y'all. I went to Switzerland. First class, $10,000 just for the flight. The French Riviera. Singapore. How about Singer-Rich? And next, I'm heading to Africa again. All on the city's dime. Yeah, you right. It's LaToya the Destroyer. Where will I go next? One thing's for sure, I won't be paying for it. Spending someone else's money is so much fun.
She danced. She moved. She shake. LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell, Mayor, City of New Orleans.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarque Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. And it handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
You always want to try to find the silver lining, something positive, even out of a crappy situation. And LaToya Cantrell, the positive or silver lining from these junkets, the latest, she's in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, Holland. So it's mind-boggling till Tuesday. City's not going to benefit, not a dime, not a job created. Could have done it on a Zoom call. It's a waste of time. There's no benefit. The mayor is full of you-know-what, if she even wants to try to sell this to everyone. No, the silver lining, the positive, and I've said this, we control the mayor. The mayor's so simple that people like me, being righteously critical of the mayor for all this nonsense, it just makes her double down when she hears it. When I say stuff like, social media is great for the recall effort, and the mayor's her own worst enemy. She keeps the recall effort alive by doing this kind of stuff. You think she'd listen and go, boy, maybe I should just be quiet for a few months, let that recall thing go away. She keeps it alive, and she can't help herself. And people like me, when she hears it, it drives her batty and makes her do even more impulsive, emotional, type of decision making, and it keeps the recall alive. So enjoy Amsterdam. I think it's just going to spike recall signatures over the weekend. By the way, it's nolatoya.org to find out where you can sign that petition. nolatoya.org. Corey Johnson with you. Enjoy the weekend. Incredible weather. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for watching and listening. See you Monday, straight up 4 o'clock. Good job, Blue Boy, 93.9 FM, New Orleans.